Hi there guys, Sam here, joined once again for another video just to go through my top 5 reasons of why I think the Golf R is kind of the hot hatch of the decade. So I'll get straight into the video really. So yeah, if you're not familiar with my channel, I own a Golf R. I've had it for around sort of 2.5 years. The car's currently on 25,147 miles. I've done around 24,000 miles in this car, and there's plenty of videos on my channel of kind of my ownership over that period. And it's been absolutely brilliant. But I wanted to go through the top 5 points of why I think it's kind of the car of the last decade really as a hot hatch. So my number 1 point is that it's a fun car to drive. It really is. It's great fun. I've had some fantastic fun drives on back roads in this car, and it's put a massive smile on my face. You know, you can hit that right road and it will be really, really fun, and that's really, really good. And I'll put a link to actually a video that I had done, and it's probably my most fun drive I've done. So click on the link just above there to see what I mean. And you know, it's so fast. Manual gearbox is great. For me, that's kind of the first point, because you kind of need a hot hatch to be fun, and the Golf R for me ticks the box on that side. Number 2, the second point is affordability. You know, you've got to be able to, you know, a car's got to be cost effective basically, and this car was. There are plenty of Golf Rs out there. You can get amazing lease deals, and you could have done when the car came out in 2014 as well, particularly. You know, finance deals are pretty good. Buying the car outright is pretty good as well. And the overall kind of running costs of the car are sublime. I really have to say that. I had a Fiesta ST, a Mk7 for 4 years, and actually the day-to-day running cost is not that much different. It drinks a little bit more fuel, but not so much that it's really going to dent your pocket too much. But in terms of, you know, I've recently changed the tyres on this car. I will do a proper in-depth review on the Pilot Sport 4s that I've got, the Michelins. I've only done about 650 miles on them so far, so I will get that to you guys soon. Servicing costs has been great. MPG economy has been great. I can get 400 miles to a tank, if not more sometimes. And all those sides are really important for a hot hatch. So that's my second point. My third point, a little bit more boring, is practicality. This car rocks, seriously. I mean, it's square shaped. It may look a little bit boring for some people, but it's really, really practical. I can get bikes in here, no problem. Plenty of space, 5 people in here. You know, I'm not the biggest person in the world, but you can get sort of 5 adults in here for a relatively long drive as well. Luggage space is great. Compartments, there's cubby holes everywhere. All those kind of little bits is more than you could ever want. And that's so important to actually make a car a car. You know, if you can't use a car on a daily basis, it really does make it difficult. And I think it's a really important element of a hot hatch. So that is my third point. The fourth point for me is actually the looks. I love the fact that a hot hatch can be that kind of everyday car. But I also love the fact that not everyone kind of knows it is as special as it is. You know, some people can look at this car and just think it's, you know, like your 1.6 TDI, and yeah, they can think that all they like, but it's damn as well not. It's an absolutely brilliant car, but it blends in so well, so subtly, and that's great. And you know, it's great when you kind of want to just go about your day-to-day business and you just want to chill out. It's also great when you want to have some fun. It doesn't scream and shout attention. It just kind of goes about its business really, really well. And I like that. But actually on the flip side of things, with the 4 exhausts and when it's clean, and it does have that great look about it. I think the rear quarter of the car is the best kind of look. Although perhaps it doesn't shout as much as your hot hatches out there, I actually think that's kind of what makes it really special. So that's my 4th point on the Golf R. My final point, my 5th point, and it kind of goes over the topic kind of why I've done these top 5, is over the course of the last 10 years, what sort of hot hatch is really imprinted on your mind as being something really, really special. You know, this car came out in 2014, they're still making it through till 2019, and it did sell in big numbers, the Golf R, and it's quite good to have a car for the people really, and this car is, you know, it's kind of taken what the GTI has to offer and turned it up, and it's done that really, really well in its own segment. Comparing it to other cars that have kind of imprinted in my mind over the last 10 years, I think this has really been sort of like the benchmark that everyone kind of goes back to compare to. And I actually think that a lot of other manufacturers kind of copied what the Golf R has done. You look at the latest 1 Series, the 135i xDrive, back down to 300 brake horsepower, back to 4-wheel drive, similar kind of shape, similar kind of practicality. And they've just modelled in what VW were basically already doing in 2014. I think it sits perfectly balanced as well at 300 brake horsepower. It's not stupid amounts of power that you can't have fun with, but it's not like such a small amount of power that you're just like, well, this is nothing, this doesn't excite me, this isn't fun. It really, really is. It has that balance absolutely perfectly. And for me, it's really been sort of like the car of the last decade that I'll kind of look back on, not just because I own it. I had a Fiesta ST before, which I thought was brilliant, which is also right up there on my list. I just love the hot hatches, and I love the cars which they sell in big numbers. You know, it's just funny, isn't it, really? You've got a Golf R which can take on a Porsche. Ultimately, it's just a VW Golf, but it's so much more than that. And I think that's kind of what the Ford Fiesta does well, and say like the Ford Focus RS as well. And that's my 5th point. So yeah, there you go. There's my kind of top 5 points of why I think over the last sort of 10 years, as we, you know, we're in December now, so we're not too far away from 2020 where everything is going to change, really, to be honest, particularly in the car industry. We're all going to go electric, we're all going to go hybrid, we're all going to go away from combustion engines and these type of hot hatches. But over the last 10 years, I think the VW Golf R is something that does imprint on my mind. It'll be interesting to know what you guys think as well. What hot hatch kind of makes you think over the last kind of 10 years it's really made a big impression. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you have done, and subscribe for more content on my Golf R. And if you'd like to watch my most recent video, click up there. If you'd like to watch a video I think you'd be interested in, click down there. And if you'd like to subscribe, please click on the link just in front of my face. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers, guys.